everybody. We are about to go into a deep freeze, and by deep freeze I mean really deep freeze. Not feels like minus 46, but actually minus 46 and probably feels colder than that. I know a lot of you in the lower 48 just got over or are still dealing with some really cold temperatures. I wanted to share what we do, but please understand that it's gonna be a lot different than you guys that are more prepared for heat than you are cold, because houses in Alaska are built for the cold. They're meant to hold heat in. Insulation is a big thing around here. There's lots of insulation in the roof, the walls, everything. We also have things like heat tape. We have a line that runs from our well to our house, and along that, underground, there is what's called heat tape. We just plug it in and it actually warms those pipes, so there's less of a chance they can freeze. Now, you don't know if the heat tape is actually working or not, so there's obviously room for air. As you saw at the beginning of the clip, we got our driveway snowblowed actually / plowed because we just got some snow, and plows don't really run when it's super cold out. When it's cold, things just break easier. It's a lot harder on them to run, so most people will not come plow or snowblow or anything like that when it gets cold. Now we're going into a long period of cold. The forecast looks like it's supposed to come out of it, but we really don't know. When it gets this cold, there's something with the pressure, and until it decides to get warmer, it's just gonna stay cold, and I think this is going to be a pretty deep freeze now. We're only 10 below right now, which is not cold for us. I do realize that's cold for a lot of you. When I see these warmer climates and they post that it's like 30 degrees and they're like, I'm so cold, and then people come through and they're like, oh, that's not cold, we get to blah, blah, blah. This is how I think about it. Us cold climates, especially here in Alaska, are prepared for cold weather. Now, if we were to get to 100 or 110 degrees, like those places, Alaska would melt, okay? Like, it would be so miserable. We're not prepared for heat. Our houses are not prepared for heat because they're meant to hold heat in, so our houses get very hot. Though 30 degrees is not cold to us, I understand you're not prepared for that. You're not prepared for below freezing temperatures. There's pipes, there's things that break. Anyways, that's my little spiel on that. That was really long, but this is kind of what we're doing. We're getting the driveway plowed. We're also getting heating fuel. We've been running our own heating fuel most of the time. Occasionally we do have to order fuel because maybe it gets low and Lance is at work, whatever. I do not run the heating fuel. I'm a passenger princess in this little next few hours, okay? We actually have a pretty small tank for where we live. This is a duplex, so technically it's 6 bedrooms, 6 bath, 4-car garage that we're heating, and it's only a 500-gallon tank. We can go through that in about a month's time when it's really cold like this. So we're gonna make sure we're all topped off and there's not an issue with running out of fuel, because that is so dangerous when it is that cold. You guys, we're waiting in line to get heating fuel here, and there's quite a few people in line because each person takes a little while. Anyways, we just had a 5.3 earthquake. We were sitting in the truck here, and it felt like, what Lance said, felt like someone was trying to get into the back of our truck, like climbing in the back. The whole truck was just kind of like swaying side to side, and then all of a sudden we were just like, that's probably an earthquake, and then started getting texts. So I'm a little nervous about the kids. They do earthquake drills at school where they like all climb under their desk. I'm just worried that they're scared, because that was probably pretty crazy for them. The earthquake was actually near Birch Lake, where we go in the summertime. So it's like 50 or 60 miles away. But anyways, I'm just kind of shooken up, literally, right now.
So you have to pull this cap off before you open the valve, because otherwise, like a straw. So as it's like trying to come out, it'll pull this whole tank in.
Oh.
It'll implode.
So you may have seen that I just stopped filming. That day was a little bit rattling, I'm not gonna lie. I totally had plans on to film more of what we were doing to prep for the 40-50 below. But I had a birthday party that night that I had to go to, so I ran to there, and then I was just frazzled. I know that earthquakes happen all the time in Alaska, okay? But they have never been not rattling to me, because you don't know if they're gonna be a little earthquake or be a big earthquake. And that is what's so nerve-wracking. I immediately go to where are my kids and how can I get to them every single time. And after that big 5.3 earthquake we had, it's not a huge earthquake, there was no damage or anything, but we did have aftershocks after that, and almost every single day we had some like 3.5s or 4.2s, and they were just enough to like, it was just very rattling. And then we went into straight 40 below. And we have been 30 to 40 below almost non-stop for the last 2 weeks. And this is the longest cold spell we've had in many years. It's still very normal for Alaska, but it's just been a long time. We've been spoiled these last few years. I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna pick up the camera and start vlogging again. And I'm gonna film my day. I got ready today, not because I'm going anywhere, but because I needed to for my mental health. I needed to feel like I was ready for the day. You know, when no matter what that point is for anybody, when you get up and you brush your teeth and you do what you gotta do to get ready for the day, you just feel better and more productive. So, I actually kept the kids home from school today. It was 43 below here at our house. There has been some reports of places being into 60 below. I've seen 3 people's thermometers that have said 60 below. I think those thermometers are just broken, honestly. But it is really, really cold out nonetheless. Lance had to go to work today, and I had him park in the garage because it's most important that he makes it to work. But I parked my van outside, and it had to have been close to 50 below last night because I went to go start it this morning, and even though she was plugged in all night long, and when you plug it in, there's a battery pad heater so it keeps your battery warm, there is an oil pan heater that keeps the engine oil warm, and also a block heater that heats the transmission fluid. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. It keeps all the things warm. So when you go to start your car, your engine oil is not like syrup. It's more liquidy form like it's supposed to be. I went to start my car and I hit the start button and she started, but she made some really, really awful sounds. And it wasn't like a normal, if you start your car when it's cold, it's like a squeal, like there's like just cold sounds. This was like almost sounded like the engine was not getting oil, and I immediately shut it off and I was like, nope, kids are staying home from school today. It's also 43 below. 40 below is when school is optional. You don't get in trouble for not coming to school past 40 below. School does still run. So I just kept the kids home from school today. Actually, I kept them home yesterday too because it was very cold yesterday. We have one more day of this, and then it's supposed to start warming up on Sunday. And guys, Alaskans are very hardcore people, okay? And there's people that will be like, it's Alaska, deal with it, you know it's coming, blah blah blah. That doesn't make it any easier. You know how I was thinking about this is, you know how when you, let's say you need surgery on your knee, okay? People aren't just saying, deal with it, you knew it was coming, deal with it, it's fine. No, that's a hard situation, okay? It's the same when it's 40 below. It's a hard situation, and it's okay to say that it's hard. You don't have to be tough and say, oh, it's not a big deal. Yes, we're prepared for it. Yes, we're not going out in this weather. It still doesn't make it any easier, okay? It's hard. You are more cooped up. Mentally, that's hard. It's just a lot, guys, and I'm just being really honest. There's just a lot of hard things, guys, and I'm just gonna be real, okay? I have not picked up the camera lately because it has been a lot of at-home time that I haven't felt like talking to the camera. And like I said, I had to get myself ready today just to feel motivated to do anything because life has just been hard, okay? And I'm not just being real. I have enjoyed sharing some reels on like Instagram. That's been a lot of fun for me. It's just kind of given me something to do. I've done a few of those, so if you don't follow me there, go follow me now. I don't know what today is going to entail. Okay guys, I just figured I would film today. I've got to get my car started. I was trying to wait for it to warm up to 35 below. But I don't even know what the real temperature is because honestly guys, this morning, well, let me just bring you outside. I don't even know how long my camera's gonna work in these temperatures, but I do have a sweatshirt on. First of all, let me just show you my door and how I knew it was much colder this morning than what my thermometer was saying. So this is my front door, and yes, she is very dirty. These little, it's so frozen, guys. There's ice down here. This is so dirty, you guys, but look, my whole front door. Where any air is leaking, there is ice buildup. And she's gonna make an awful sound when I open the door. All right, guys, I cannot be out here long. It's so cold. But we have this thermometer here, and it was reading like 32 below this morning. And I was like, oh, that's so weird because like, why wouldn't my car start? It's plugged in. Actually, I'm gonna bring this in and try to thaw it out because I'm gonna tell you the rest of the story in a minute. It's too cold out here. This morning it was reading 32 below, and I thought that was weird. And so I was like, I'm gonna go grab it and pull it in. And the parts on the back, I think, had so much like frost and stuff that it just was not working. And I stepped out on the porch, and just the vibration from me like stepping on the porch, the needle was just like thump, and dropped to 43 below. And I was like, oh, that's more accurate. That's at least right around where the app is saying. So I knew that was a little more accurate. I'm gonna get my thermometer thawed out and recheck the temperature, try to start my vehicle and get it in the garage. That way, if we do have to go somewhere in an emergency, that we can. I just had my blow dryer on cold, so it was not blowing hot air, but I think she's about calibrated. I'm not sure if that's what you call it, but it is 70 degrees in here and it's reading 70 degrees. We'll let her thaw out just a little bit longer before she goes out in 110 degrees colder. Is that not crazy? It's 70 degrees in my house and it is 110 degrees colder outside. Alright guys, my thermometer is now saying 35 below, which I think is more accurate because the app's saying about 32 below and we're normally a little bit colder right here. So glad I brought her in and thawed her out. We're gonna start the car. We're gonna see what she sounds like. If she sounds terrible, I'm gonna shut it off right away and just leave her there until Sunday. But I would really like to get her in the garage and thawed out a little bit. Okay, that's the sound I was talking about. It doesn't sound good, guys. I'm gonna text Lance. I took a video on my phone. I'm gonna text him that and say, is it okay for me to start this? Or is that a really bad sound? To me, it sounds like metal rubbing. We'll see what he says. But I do have to manually start it now because that's the second time I've started it. So I have to actually go out there and start it next time. All right, guys, Lance said to start it and leave it running. It could be a belt sound. It could be a really, really cold belt, and that's what's making the squeaking sound. But I got a little paranoid, and he was like, let it run. You're loading it up. It's gonna be full of fuel. Anyways, I'm gonna go start it, but I have to start it by hand, like I said, because I've already hit it twice with the auto start, and it only lets you start it twice. So, lucky me. Oh my gosh, she's so mad. This is completely off. Oh gosh. That's not even lighting up. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh, she's being weird. All right, she's been running, but we're gonna go check on her, see how she's doing. Let's see. Oh, heater controls are working. They're not even slow. Boy, I tell you what, it is cold in here. Encourage you guys to set up your phone and do like a time lapse. My kitchen never gets this clean, okay? But the fact that I was filming it was very encouraging to me to do a better job. That is my meat. That's my onions. That she just lives there. All right, so I'm gonna be starting dinner. I've said this before, but I cook most of my meals with frozen meat, okay? Because we live in Alaska and it's really hard to get fresh meat to last a long time. So don't come at me, this is just what I do. I stick my meat in cold water for, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes, not very long, just enough to like thaw the outside and to be able to pull the plastic away nicely. Normally I don't use Ziploc bags to freeze my stuff. I have a food saver and I use that, but I was obviously in a hurry. So I threw that one in there in a Ziploc bag. So that's what it is. I'm gonna be making some chili tonight. I know I've made chili a lot on here, but that's just what it is tonight. It's an easy meal and it's 40 below. So we need something to warm the souls. So also something I've been doing is if I have ground beef that maybe is like close to the expiration date that I just need to cook up, I have been cooking all of it up, and then what I don't think we're gonna eat for dinner, I'll just freeze. So this is already cooked up ground beef and it works really good for instances like this where I'm looking at the meat and I'm like, that is not going to create enough chili for us for dinner and a lunch for Lance. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this already cooked ground beef and I'm gonna throw it in there just to make this meal go a little bit farther. I'm not gonna use, I'll probably use like half of this bag. I have no idea how much this is, maybe a pound of ground beef. I just want a little bit extra. I don't wanna run out, so that's what I'm adding. Oh, I did not mean to open all 3 of those. I actually didn't mean to open all 3 of those cans because I wasn't even sure if I was going to use them, but now I guess it's going to be a really beanie chili. Okay, it's going to be way too many beans. We're going in with the rest of the ground beef. Listen, we're just winging it, okay? We're just winging it. I don't even know what I'm doing in here. It's a good thing that chili freezes well. I've talked about this before. This is not this taco seasoning. I just reuse this container. I make taco seasoning and I use it for my tacos. I use it for my chili. I use it for my fajitas. It's kind of an all-around mix. I know it sounds weird that you would use it for chili and tacos, but it's the same seasonings and it's so good. Sure. We're gonna put a dash of baking soda in here to cut down the acid. For the heartburn, for those that struggle with heartburn, we won't name any names, Lance. It's gonna bubble up and it's gonna look kind of weird for a second. Dinner was fantastic. The chili turned out perfect. I wish I could give you guys a recipe and one day I'll get my life together and I would love to have like a website to send you guys to be able to get these recipes. But I just need to like sit down and as you saw, I just kind of dumped stuff in. So it is back down to 40 below. So love that so much. I think tomorrow night is going to be the last night of it and then it's supposed to break on Sunday. I am just so looking forward to it. It's just mentally hard, like I said before. It's hard to want to do anything. It's hard to stay home all day. You want to go do things, but it's too cold. You don't want to go do things because it's too cold. It's a very confusing time for a lot of people. I know I'm not alone. I know it's like that everywhere. Just when that 40 below hits, the 30, 40 below, it's a whole new level. But enough of that. We're gonna end on a positive note. My kitchen is still clean, except for, you know, where I attempted to clean these cupboards out. It's all over the counter. We are watching a movie. Dad has to work tomorrow, so we're gonna watch a movie and hang out. They have started it. Obviously, we're watching, I believe, the Garfield movie. Anyways, thank you guys for coming along on this little cold winter day. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye!